Pete Rose, the legendary Charlie Hustle and cornerstone of the Big Red Machine, left an indelible mark on baseball history that transcends his controversial legacy. For many who grew up in the 1970s, that's me, the Cincinnati Reds' dominance was a source of wonder and inspiration. Yes, it was. With Rose at the heart of that juggernaut. His relentless pursuit of excellence on the field, culminating in becoming MLB's all time hits leader, captivated fans and embodied the spirit of the game. Yet Rose's story is also a cautionary tale of human frailty. His gambling addiction and subsequent ban from baseball tarnished his reputation and kept him out of the Hall of Fame. Rose's stubborn refusal to admit his wrongdoing for many years, driven by ego and defiance, only compounded the issue. As we reflect on Rose's life and career, we're reminded of the complex nature of human beings, capable of greatness and fallibility in equal measure. The term flawed hero aptly describes Rose, acknowledging both his extraordinary achievements and his significant missteps. In honoring Pete Rose, we celebrate his undeniable impact on the game while recognizing the all too human struggles that shaped his controversial legacy. Pete Rose's legacy, a baseball icon forever denied his place among legends. Well, to be frank, I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. You judge a man on the field, not off the field, and then his story is so convoluted with the fact that he didn't really bet against himself; he bet on himself. And I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying there's a lot of bad people, white beaters, racists, bigots from all colors, all cultures in that Hall of Fame. I was a child growing up in the 70s watching the Big Red Machine, the only boy in a family of all girls, three girls, a mother, and an aunt most of the time while my dad was in Vietnam. And in the mid 70s, he'd come back, but my dad was not a sports guy. I remember watching the Big Red Machine. I remember on a Saturday morning, maybe morning, late morning, watching a World Series game, unheard of now. I remember being up in bed, asleep, not as a child, maybe teenager by then. I can't remember. I was late teen or early teens, in fact. On my AM radio, listening to the games as he kept his hit streak alive. I remember his last at bat. I listened to the game when the streak ended. But Charlie Hustle represented to me the professional athlete, Charlie Hustle. I read an article. These old white fat pig of writers who've never done a damn lick of sports in their life. He tried to play this into a race thing. I'm like, it's Pete Rose. I mean, he played into racing like, well, what about the first baseman, Perez or Concepcion? I'm like, who cares? I'm Latino and I love those guys too. But we all love Charlie Hustle. He epitomized the game in every form or fashion. God, I hate it when people do that. So let's talk a little bit about Mr. Pete Rose. His baseball career and achievements, he collected 4,256 hits, the most in MLB history over a 24-year playing career. Dear God, the guy played forever, didn't he? He played more games than any other player in MLB history. Named National League Rookie of the Year in 1963, before I was born. Won batting titles in 68 and 69 with a career best 348 average in 69. MVP at 32 and still led the league in hits at 40. Rose had a 44-game hitting streak and surpassed Dan Musial for the NL hits record. That's what I'm talking about. Nicknamed Charlie Hustle because he was aggressive. Now, I don't always agree with that. I think it was 72 World Series when he forget who the shortstop was. He kind of ended the guy's career. So Pete Rose was not a good person on the field. Don't get me wrong. I loved and admired him. To me, that was unforgivable. And maybe that was karma, him being banned for his own actions. He had a God complex, just like I just did a podcast on Diddy. People with God complex. In my intro, I talked about his defiance. And that's what I'm talking about. He had a God complex, thought he was untouchable, thought even once caught. Well, I just bet on myself, so it's okay. It's okay. But anyway, back to his plain style personality. He was known for belly flopping into bases and sprinting to first on walks. And speaking of that, let me share my screen here. And there he is, Pete Rose. They see that dive right there. Whoo, he's gonna look how high. That guy got some lift. That guy be a short little point guard. They're known for belly flopping into bases and sprinting to first on walks. Described as the most magnetic baseball figure of his era. Most divisive, at least. I'll give you that. You know, possess extensive knowledge of baseball history. There's an ESPN video of him just maybe a few years ago giving Frank Thomas an A Rod, a Royd Rod, as I call him. You want to condemn Canseco and McGuire. A Rod was a Royd user himself. Why does he get a pass? Anyway, I'm digressing. I apologize. But he was showing them, him and Frank Thomas, hey, this is how I hit. I mean, he's giving a clinic on baseball. The man, even his late age, the passion was there. But so were the demons. The gambling scandal and ban. In 1989, Commissioner Bart Giamatti banned Rose for life for gambling on baseball. That kind of, it didn't crush me. I was a young adult, but like OJ, it was like these were two of my childhood idols, OJ and Pete Rose, going down in flames. Rose bet on games involving his own team, the Cincinnati Reds, while managing them. That's that picture there at the bottom there. Ooh, ooh. For 15 years after the ban, Rose denied gambling on baseball. And I was with him for early on until it was like, bro, you cheated. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Stop trying to play the con job. But that's what happens when you have a God complex. That's what happens when you're never told no. You live in denial. It's like a white beater or these football players, Ray Rice, Kareem Hunt, bam! And that woman goes, oh, God. Whoa, I was defending myself, man. Or she was talking smack, man. It's like, dude, you don't treat a woman like that, period. End of story. Even if she comes at you, you're physically stronger. Grab her, hold her, tie her down, do whatever you have to, call the cops. Do not hit her. I guess I'm on that kick because we did a points on the board the other night, myself and Bill Ross. Good guy. And we talked about the police blotter with Von Miller and Mike Hall Jr. But anyway, P. Rose had nothing of that. But it's that God complex. You're never told no, so you don't know how to act, and then it just goes all south, and then you're still in denial. And finally, in 2004, he admitted to betting on the Reds in his book, My Prison Without Bars. I mean, he was a pariah. Hall of Fame implications. The lifetime ban made Rose ineligible for election to the Hall of Fame, which I disagree with, but I get it. There's certain politics you're just not going to win. Here's the kicker though. His artifacts are displayed in the Cooperstown Museum, but he has no place in that gallery. See, that's MLB is nothing but freaking hypocrite. Yeah, we're going to honor everything about you so we can earn some money here, so people come see Pete Rose memorabilia. But you ain't getting in, boy. So missed opportunities in his legacy. In 2002, Rose met secretly with Commissioner Bud Selig, but failed to meet conditions for reinstatement. This is what I know. This is the God complex. Cease gambling. Rose was required to stop all forms of gambling. Hey, you got to be good. Got to go clean if he wants to get in the Hall of Fame. Got to avoid casinos. Can't be frequenting casinos and racetracks. They were trying to recreate a new image of him. Hey, he's reformed, to give him the slack to get into the Hall of Fame. Public acknowledgement. Rose had to hold a press conference to admit that he bet on baseball, apologize to those he had betrayed, and promise that it would never happen again. So instead of adhering to these conditions, Rose immediately went to the Las Vegas sports books after the meeting And that obviously sealed his fate regarding reinstatement. Now, maybe Bud Selig was demanding too much. The man was out of baseball, but he was trying to rehabilitate his image. Or rather, that's one way to look at it. If you, hey, let us know in the comments if you look at it differently. But that's one way to look at it. To me, it was Rose's stupidity when I look back at it. At the time, I defended him. Well, he's retired, man. He's got his own rights. Okay, maybe so. But with that comes accountability. And if he keeps doing that, he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame. It's a give and take. Whether you like it or not, life's not fair. You know, when people whine to me, I had two sentences. So what? And again, life's not fair. I don't think he should have been banned from the Hall of Fame, but I'm obviously in the minority, a big minority, though. And here's the kicker: Rose never drank or smoked. Had a couple of hot wives, though, who took him to the cleaners. Pete, you know, his weaknesses: women and gambling, and women and gambling. You know, Rose died at age 83 on September 30th, 2024. His cause of death was hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease with diabetes mellitus as a significant condition. Oh, that's Greek to me. He had cardiovascular issues, is what it boils down to. I mean, he was 83 years old. You know, he lived a long life. God bless you, Pete Rose. God bless the big red machine. And Pete, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me so many childhood memories. I'll never forget being in bed listening to AM radio. Yeah. AM radio. Now it's so different today. Y'all have no clue. There you have it. Rest in peace, Pete. You have begun a journey we all will undertake sooner or later. Godspeed and be good, whatever you're doing in the afterlife. Do not forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to this podcast. You can also check out our other podcasts, our conservative political talk, our libertarian talk. We also have Pure Play NFL and basketball. This podcast, this is a Points on the Board clip. You can find our Points on the Board where politics and sports intersect, and we break it down for you. You can find all these at grumblingsmedia.com, as well as our social media platforms such as YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Pandora, and Apple under the profile handle Grumblings Media. Thank you for listening. I am William Del Pilar. This is Points on the Board, a clip. And until next time, I bid you adieu.
Hey everybody, this is Big John from Grumblings Media, and I just want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our efforts here at Grumblings Media, just smash the subscribe button right here, totally free, or just go ahead and consume more of our great content. Click either one of these two boxes.